In fact, I'm not really totally retired because for me, one has to have purpose in life to keep going on. People who retire and just don't do anything, have no purpose, they don't live very much longer.
Is there anything that you regret in life?
Truthfully, I do regret the first time I got married, the first wife. Yes, I've been married twice, but not at the same time.
Now I'm starting record my podcast and Alan is here with me. Alan Burgess. I have a few questions to ask you. I find you a very interesting person. You are one of those very interesting people that I have met. So my first question to you is that how long have you been in Thailand?
I've been in Thailand for 27 years.
That's a very long time.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 77 years young.
Okay, you sound very young. What brought you to Thailand at the first place?
I worked for an American company and they sent me here as a quality assurance manager for Asia. But I was based in Bangkok and I used to travel to many countries all over Asia to check quality and approve shipments of children's wear. Well, I had to check and approve shipments of the garments that we put into these factories and also help the people in the factories to improve their productivity and their quality. And we worked very well together. And all over Asia, everybody that I worked with improved their quality and improved their on-time delivery.
And then you retired.
Well,
right?
Okay. Then I traveled a lot. Well, I was based in Bangkok, and then I would travel every 2 weeks. I would go to a different country. For instance, I would be in Thailand for 2 weeks, and then I'd go to Bangladesh. I'd come back, and 2 weeks later, I'd go to Korea, come back. 2 weeks later, I'd go to the Philippines. 2 weeks later, I'd come back and go to Indonesia. So I was traveling all over Asia, to China, to Korea, to Indonesia, to Bangladesh, many countries. It was actually very tiring work. It's more work to travel than it is to actually work in the factory. It's more tiring to sit in airports.
It sounds like fun to me, actually. At my age, this time, I would be very happy traveling that much.
It's exhausting.
Okay.
And after a while, I got tired of doing it. And then one of the factories that I helped in Thailand invited me to become a production director in their factory and to help them with their productivity and quality. And that's when I retired from my company and joined the Thai company. And in that company, there were 2,100 people in that factory working for me. And we increased productivity by 30% in 6 months. I put in an incentive program and everybody worked with me very well. Even though I don't speak Thai, the only language that I can speak is English. But wherever I traveled, anywhere in the world, there was always somebody who could speak English. Everybody couldn't speak English, of course, but there was always somebody. So I was always able to do business in any country that I went to. So I was very fortunate to have English as my language. It truly is the international language.
Okay, I see. And then, how long have you been working with this company?
Well, I worked with them only for about a year or so, and then my blood pressure went up very high, and I decided to retire. I had to make a choice. Am I going to die on this job, or am I going to take it easy? So I retired, literally retired.
And then what did you do?
Well, I went back to school to get the TEFL certificate to teach English as a foreign language. And I got a job as an English teacher, but working in companies, in a corporate English teacher, not in schools. I didn't work in schools and I never taught children, but I've been working with managers and staff in factories and companies all over Bangkok.
How long have you been doing that?
I've been doing that for 20 years.
That's a very long time. But you don't feel like you shift your job from the corporate side to teaching, right?
Well, I'm doing more than teaching because with my management experience, and I've had over 30 years of management experience, I teach management and time studies, time management, personnel management, as well as basic English and communication skills. What I specialize in now is English language business communication. And it's something that a lot of factories actually need, a lot of companies actually need. And fortunately for me, it's given me a career as a trainer and a coach. But I owe that to Toastmasters.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Because when I did retire, I joined Toastmasters International. And the practice that I got in public speaking, which surprised me because I thought that I could speak well, but I learned to speak a lot better. And my management training helped me make a second career for myself, but a career that I love to do. So as Confucius said, if you can find a job you love to do, you never have to work a day in your life. So I don't work, I just enjoy what I do.
Well, I hope I would say that when I am your age, because I am a Toastmaster. Actually, I met Alan when I joined the Toastmaster meeting for the first time. And his classic line that get me into this Toastmaster is that after that meeting, I went to talk to him, I talked to everybody, and he just said one thing to me, which get me signed up to Toastmaster immediately. He said, well, this is the place to make mistake. And he laughed. And I was, yeah, this guy makes sense. And yeah, since that day, I think July 2016, I became a Toastmasters. And I enjoyed so far. It's really helped me a lot on my presentation skill with my work and how I communicate with other people. So you sound like a very successful person in work. How about your personal life? Are you married?
Yes, I am. I'm married to a very beautiful Thai lady, and we've been married for 21 years.
That's a very long time. Do you ever get bored of being married?
No, never.
You can't say that, right?
No, I've never been bored about getting married because like any relationship, we have our ups and downs, you know. We argue a lot, but we love each other, so it always comes back. There's nothing that's going to harm our relationship, even though we sometimes do not agree. Because my wife is a manager herself. She is a managing director of a travel company, and you know, when two bosses get together, they're going to fight. They're not going to agree with each other. They both want to be right. And of course, you know, a man can only be right if he's on his own, not with.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, what is one or two ingredients to be successful and happy in your marriage? What is it?
Trust. Trust is very important. I will trust my wife with my soul.
Can she trust you?
Yes, she can.
Okay.
And she does.
That's good.
There's no reason not to, because I've got everything I need with her.
So you have been married for 21 years with the beautiful Thai ladies, and you are retiring here in Thailand. Is it easier being retired as a married man in Thailand, married a Thai woman?
Yeah, married to a Thai woman. Yeah, actually, I would say it's very easy to be married to a Thai woman, but like every woman in the world, it's a challenge to be married. But the fact is that I only retired from my corporate job because I'm still working as a trainer and a coach. So in effect, I'm not really totally retired, because for me, one has to have purpose in life to keep going on. People who retire and just don't do anything, have no purpose, they don't live very much longer. So I plan to live a long time, so I'll be working just as long as I can. But I'm not working hard. I'm doing what I love to do. So again, this is not work for me, but it's giving me focus in my life and giving me a future.
Okay. Is there anything that you regret in life?
Truthfully, I do regret the first time I got married, the first wife.
So this is not your first wife. This is your second.
Yes, I've been married twice, but not at the same time. Actually, what happened after I finished or divorced my first wife, I swore I would never get married again. But you can never say never.
Yeah.
Because when I met my second wife, it was love at first sight.
Wow.
And I knew that I wanted to marry this woman.
Really? How could you tell? You just saw her. This is
I just
beautiful.
knew. You know when you know.
I have heard people say that so many times, but I didn't get that when you know yet. So I'm looking forward to that too for myself.
You just know. But we were friends first. We didn't get married immediately. We were friends for 5 years before we got married. And it was just like a natural progression just to get, now is the time. Okay, now we'll get married. And we did. And quite frankly, I'm very happily married. And there was a lot of difference between the first time and the second time. It's like a different world. So I'm very fortunate.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Is this the indicator that people should get married 2 times?
It's up to every individual. Sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you don't. I got very lucky the second time. I was unlucky the first time because I was young, just 24 years old when I first got married. So it makes a big difference.
Okay. Do you have children?
I do. I have a son who lives in America. He's 51 years old now. And he is an entrepreneur. He's a disc jockey. And he has another business as a travel agent, online travel agent. And we haven't seen each other for many years, but we communicate via the internet at least once a month. And the good news is that in January he plans to come here to visit me. So I'm really looking forward to that. Unfortunately, his wife just passed away. She was just 44 years old, and she had cancer.
I'm sorry.
So he's going through the grief process right now, but hopefully by January, we'll be able to be happy together.
Yeah, okay. Well, sorry about that, and hope him and yourself bonding in January would make the situation better.
Okay.
You seem to be very happy now, and you enjoy what you do. You still not stop doing what you're doing. What advice would you give to your young self, or to me, or to someone who are in their 30s or 40s who's still working on themselves?
Well, I would say don't try to be like anybody else. Be yourself, because everybody else is taken anyway. But do what you love to do. All my training and coaching that I do, to me, it's not work. I just enjoy it. I look forward to getting up in the morning and going to work and doing what I do. And I get a lot of satisfaction from it. And it gives me focus in life. And that's why at 77 years old, I can still be as active as I am.
Right. And now, last question. What makes you happy?
When I hear my wife laugh.
Oh, that's so romantic. So what do you do to make her laugh?
Oh, many.
Can't tell, right?
Many things. It just, even if I don't do anything, if she's laughing at the television or something like that, I get a good feeling to hear her laugh.
Maybe she feels the same. So, all right. Thank you for letting me interviewing you, Alan.
Well, thank you for interviewing me. I'm glad I was able to do it. I hope this podcast is a success for you.
I hope so. And I really hope that this podcast and the story and the question that I asked would make people who are listening happy and who listen. And just a side note, Alan always keeps correcting my grammar, my English, and which is a really good thing. And I enjoy talking to you and interviewing you today. So thank you, and I hope to be able to interview you in the next episode.
Okay, thank
Let's
you.
see. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure for me too. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So bye for now.
Goodbye.